Akhil here with another book, You Can Win, written by Shiv Khera. Let us start our journey of completing 13 powerful chapters from this book, You Can Win, written by Shiv Khera. Let's get started with the chapter 1. The chapter 1 title is Importance of Attitude, Winner's Edge. Ability teaches us how we do. Motivation determines why we do. And attitude decides how well we do. Remember this? Ability teaches us how we do, and motivation determines us why we do. And attitude determines how well we do. There was a man who made his living selling balloons of a fair. He had balloons of many different colors, including a red balloon, yellow balloon, blue balloon, and green balloon. Whenever business was slow, he would release a helium filled balloon into the air. When the children saw the balloon go up, they all wanted one. They would come up to him, buy a balloon, and his sales would go up. All day, he continued to release a balloon whenever the sales were slow. One day, the balloon man felt someone tugging at his jacket. He turned around and a little boy asked, if you release a black balloon, will that also fly? That was the question asked by the small kid. By the boy's concern, the man replied gently, Son, it is not the color of the balloon. It is what is inside that makes it go up. This is the reply came from the balloon boy. The same principle applies to our lives. It's what inside, it's what is inside that counts, and that what is inside of us that makes us go up is our attitude. William James of Harvard University said that the greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind. So this is the powerful quotation. Even you can have this quote from The Strangest Secret. Most of us have heard of the power of the positive thinking, but very few have heard of the power of the negative thinking. They both are very powerful, but take us in totally opposite directions. Just the way positive thinking empowers people to achieve new heights, negative thinking propels people towards destruction. Your attitude contributes to your success. A study attributed to Harvard University found that when a person gets a job or a promotion, 85% of the time it is because of his attitude, and only 15% of the time because of his intelligence and knowledge of specific facts and figures. Isn't it surprising then that almost 100% of education dollars go to teach facts and figures, which account for only 15% of success in life? You Can Win is all about that 85% of success. Attitude is the most important word in English language. It applies to every sphere of life, including one's personal and professional life. Can an executive be a good executive without a good attitude? Can a student be a good student without a good attitude? Can parents, teachers, salespersons, employers, or employees be good in their roles without a good attitude? The foundation of success, regardless of your chosen field, is attitude. If attitude is such a critical factor in success, shouldn't we examine our attitude towards life and ask how our attitude will affect our lives? Let us see small example from Acres of Diamonds. Hafiz was a farmer in Africa who was happy and content. He was happy because he was content. He was content because he was happy. One day, a wise man came and told him about the glory of diamonds and the power that goes along with them. The wise man said, if you had a diamond the size of a thumb and you could buy your own city, if you had a diamond the size of your fist You could probably buy your own country. And then the wise man left. That night, Hafiz could not sleep. He was unhappy and he was discontented. He was unhappy because he was discontented, and discontented because he was unhappy. The next morning, Hafiz made arrangements to sell his farming land, took care of his family, and went off in the search of diamonds. He looked all over Africa and could not find even single or any. He looked all through Europe and could not find any. By the time he got to Spain, he was emotionally, physically, and financially broke. He was so disheartened that he threw himself into the Barcelona river and committed suicide. Back home, the person who had brought his farm was watering the camels at the stream that ran through the farm. Across the stream, the rays of the morning sun hit a stone and make it sparkle like a rainbow. He thought that stone would look good in his living room. He picked up the stone and put it on his mantelpiece. That afternoon, the wise man came and saw the stone sparkling. He asked, "Is Hafiz back?" The new owner said, "No. Why do you ask?" The wise man said, "Because that is a diamond. I recognize one when I see one." The man said, "No, that's just a stone I picked up from the stream. Come, I'll show you. There are many more." They went and picked some samples and sent them for analysis. Sure enough, the stones were diamonds. They found that the farm was indeed covered with the acres and acres of diamonds. What is the moral of the story? There are three morals. When our attitude is right, we realize that we are all walking on acres of diamonds. Opportunities are always under our feet. We don't have to go anywhere. The second moral of the story is when we don't know how to recognize opportunity, it could slap us on our face and we should still not be able to recognize it. All we need to do is to learn to recognize opportunities. What are the third moral is people who don't know how to recognize opportunities complain of noise when they knock. Fourth lesson is lost opportunities are easier recognized when they are leaving rather than when they are coming. And fifth lesson is an opportunity only knocks once. An opportunity always only knocks once. The next one may be better or worse, but never the same one. That is why it is crucial to make the right decision at the right time. A right decision at the wrong time becomes a wrong decision. Remember again, a right decision at the wrong time becomes a wrong decision. The grass on the other side always looks greener. There are two dimensions to the greener grass. First dimension is it may be possible that the other farmer is taking better care of his grass and it's actually greener. The second case dimension is most of the time, however, it's only an illusion. Many times in life, while chasing an illusion, we lose out the opportunity right under our own feet. Seventh lesson is while we are eyeing the grass on the other side, there are others who are eyeing the grass on our side. They would be happy to trade places with us. Let us see a small example about David and Goliath. We all know that biblical story of David and Goliath. Goliath was a giant of a man. He struck fear in everyone's heart. One day, a 17 years old shepherd boy came to visit his brothers and asked, "Why don't you fight the giant?" The brothers were terrified of Goliath and replied, "Don't you see he is too big to hit?" But David said, "No, he is not too big to hit. He is too big to miss." The rest is history. We all know what happened. David killed the giant with the slingshot. Same giant, different perceptions. Our attitude determines how we look at a setback. To a positive thinker, a setback can be a stepping stone to success. To a negative negative thinker, it can be a stumbling block or a block. Great thinkers and philosophers feel and believe that every problem comes with an equal and or greater opportunity for success. Let us see the importance of attitude towards organizations. Have you ever wondered why some individuals or organizations, our countries, are more successful than others? It is not a secret. They simply think and act more effectively. They do so by investing in their most valuable asset, that is nothing but people. I have spoken to executives in major organizations internationally and asked a question. If you had a magic wand and there was only one thing you could change that would make you more productive, what would it be? Their answers were unanimous. They said that they would like to change their people's attitudes. With better attitudes, people would be better team players and cut down on waste, quality, and bottom line would go up. In general, their company would be a great place to work in. Experience has shown that human resources are the more valuable asset. People are more valuable than capital or equipment. Unfortunately, human resources are also the most wasted of resources. People can be your biggest asset or your biggest liability. Remember this, people can be your biggest asset or it can be your biggest liability. Let us see the TQP, which is nothing but total quality people. Having attended a number of training programs such as at customer service, selling skills, strategy planning, etc., I have come to the conclusion that most of these are great programs with one major challenge. None of them will work unless they have the right foundation. And the right foundation is TQP. What is TQP? TQP is nothing but total quality people. They are the people with character, integrity, good values, and positive attitudes. Don't get me wrong. You do need these programs, but they will only work when they have the right foundation. That is TQP. For example, some customer service programs teach participants to say please and thank you, smile and shake hands. How long can a person smile if he does not have the desire to serve? How long a person can smile if the person does not have desire to serve? Besides, people can always see through a fake smile. Fake smile. When the smile is not sincere, it is irritating. The point is there has to be substance over form, not just form over substance. Without a doubt, people who serve customers should say please and thank you, smile and so forth. These things are important, but keep in mind that they come a lot easier when accompanied by a desire to serve. Someone once approached Blaise Pascal, the famous French philosopher, and said, if I had your brains, I would be a better person. Pascal replied that, be a better person and you will have my brains. Great organizations are not measured by wages and working conditions. They are measured by feelings, attitudes, and relationships. When employees say, I cannot do this, they are really saying one of two things. Either they are saying, I don't know how to do it, or I don't want to do it. There are two cases. Either they don't know how to do it, or either don't want to do it. If they are saying, I don't know how to do it, it is a technical training issue. If they are saying they don't want to do it, they are really saying one of the two things. Either they don't care about it or they feel strong enough not to do it. The first one is an attitude issue. They don't care. And the second one is a values issue, means they don't believe that they should do it. We find a greater percentage of challenges all over the world fall into these two categories. Either don't care or strongly feel not to do it. Attitude is the foundation of success. The greater the success, the stronger the foundation. The Calgary Tower stands at 190.8 meters. The total weight of the tower is 10,884 tons, of which 6,349 tons are below ground. Means approximately 60% is below the ground. This shows that the tallest and greatest buildings have the strongest foundations. Just like a great building stands on a strong foundation, so does success. And the foundation of success is attitude. Let us see the holistic approach. I believe in a holistic approach. We are not just arms and legs, eyes and ears, a heart and a brain, but a complete human being. The whole person goes to work and the whole person comes home. Behaviors don't change. People who are honest at home are honest at work, and people who are dishonest at home are dishonest at work. We take family problems to work and we take work problems to the family. What happens when we take family problems to work? Our stress level goes up and our productivity comes down. Similarly, work problems do have an impact not only on our families but on every aspect of our lives. Personal, professional, and social problems are strongly interconnected and impact each other. Let us see the factors that determine our attitude. Let me ask you, are we born with attitudes or do we develop them as we mature? What are the factors that form our attitudes? Can attitudes be changed? Most of our attitudes were shaped during our formative years. While we born, while we were born with the tendencies towards temperaments, there are three factors that largely determine our attitude foundation. This is nothing but triple E's of attitude. Triple E's of attitude. First E is nothing but environment. Second E is nothing but experience. Third E is nothing but education. Environment, experience, and education are the three E's of attitude. Let's evaluate each of these factors individually. Let us take first factor, which is nothing but environment. Environment consists of the following: home environment. Positive and negative influences start rubbing off all family members. Second environment is school environment, which is nothing but peer pressure. Third environment is nothing but work environment, whether it may be supportive or overcritical environment. Fourth environment, social environment, media, television, newspapers, magazines, radio, movies, etc. What is socially acceptable and what is socially unacceptable starts influencing your attitude. Sixth attitude is economic environment. Abject poverty. Can you teach values on an empty stomach? Let us take another environment, religious environment. Many times, either interpretation or misinterpretation of religion makes people fatalistic. Let us take another environment, political environment. All these environments create a culture. Every place, be it home, organization, or a country, has a culture or lack of it, even lack of it's a culture. For example, if you go to a shop, you may find the salesperson is polite, the supervisor polite, manager polite, the owner is polite. You go to another shop and you find the salesperson rude. The same applies to the supervisor rude, manager rude, and the owner rude. There is a culture running. Similarly, if you go to a home and you find the kids are courteous, so are the parents. Even the help is polite. You go to another home, you may find the kids are fighting like cats and dogs. You can see Tom and Jerry. So are the parents, even the help is rude. There is another culture running in that home. Culture in any place always goes top bottom or never bottom up. So culture in any place always go top down, never bottom up. In countries where there is a political uncertainty, people stop thinking long term, they start thinking short term. Their objective becomes to fleece everybody and fill their pockets today, because their pockets are full today. They will be more prepared to face the uncertainties of tomorrow. Nowadays, people are trying to fill their pockets today. In countries where the government and political environment is harnessed, generally you will find that the people are honest, law abiding, and helpful. And the reverse is also true. In a corrupted environment, an honest person has a hard time. Whereas in an honest environment, a corrupt person has a tough time. In a positive environment, a marginal performer's output goes up, and in a negative environment, a good performer's output goes down. We need to step back and look at what kind of environment we have created for ourselves and those around us. It is tough to expect positive behavior in negative environment. In societies where lawlessness becomes the law, honest citizens becomes cheats, crooks, and dacoits. Take some time to evaluate how the environment that you are in affects you and how the environment created by you affects others. Let us see the second factor of attitude, which is nothing but experience. Experiences, events, and experiences in life determine our attitudes. If we have a positive experience with a person, our attitude towards him is likely to be positive. And conversely, negative experiences tends to make us cautious. Experiences and events become reference points in our lives, and we draw conclusions which serve as guidelines for the future. I teach my grandson to tell the truth. If he sees me lying, he gets somewhat confused initially because he hears one thing and experiences something else. He draws his own conclusions based on his experience, which become his reference points going forward in life. Let us see the third factor of attitude, which is nothing but education. Holistic education ought to teach us not only how to make a living, but also how to live. Education refers to both formal and informal education. We are drowning in information, but starving for knowledge and wisdom. Strategically applied knowledge translates into wisdom, which in turn translates into success. The role of the educator is vital. A teacher affects eternity. The ripple effect is immeasurable. How do you recognize people with a positive attitude? Let us see some beautiful concepts. Just as the absence of ill health does not equal good health, similarly, the absence of negativity does not make a person positive. People with positive attitudes have certain personality traits that are easy to recognize. They are caring, confident, patient, and humble. They have high expectations of themselves and others. They expect positive outcomes. A person with a positive attitude is like a fruit of all seasons. He is always welcome. Fruit of all seasons. The benefits of a positive attitude. There are many benefits of having a positive attitude. The advantages to see are easy to see. But unfortunately, sometimes what is easy to see is also easy to miss out. A positive attitude makes for a pleasing personality. A positive attitude is energizing and invigorating. Invigorating. A positive attitude gives you fulfillment and makes life meaningful. A positive attitude inspires oneself and others. A positive attitude helps people become contributing members and assets to the society and nation. A positive attitude increases productivity and profits. A positive attitude fosters teamwork and better relationships. A positive attitude solves problems and makes positive decisions. A positive attitude brings pride in performance and improves quality. A positive attitude makes for a congenial atmosphere. A positive attitude makes for a congenial atmosphere. A positive attitude breeds loyalty and dependability. A positive attitude reduces stress and increases happiness. In other words, a positive attitude leads to a happy, healthy, and prosperous life. The consequences of a negative attitude. Still now we have covered the positive attitude. Let us see the dark side of the coin. The consequences of a negative attitude. Life is an obstacle course, and we become our biggest obstacle by having a negative attitude. People with negative attitudes have a hard time keeping friendships, jobs, marriages, and relationships. Negative attitudes leads to bitterness, discontentment, a purposeless life, high stress for self, high stress for others, resentment, frustration, ill health. Your negative attitudes create an unpleasant environment at home, at work, and in society. They pass on their negativity to others around them. People with negative attitudes become a liability to the society. Do attitudes go from one generation to the next generation? Let us see the answer. Absolutely. No wonder we find some families and societies more positive than others. When we when we become aware of our negative attitude, why don't we change them? Let us see the answer. Human nature generally resists change. Change is uncomfortable. Regardless of whether it is positive or negative, change can often be stressful. Sometimes we get so comfortable with our negativity that even when the change is far the better, we don't want to accept it. We prefer to stay with the comfort of the negative. Charles Dickens wrote about a prisoner who was locked up for many years in a dungeon. After serving his sentence, he got his freedom. He was brought out from his cell into the bright daylight of the open world. This man looked all around and after a few moments was so uncomfortable with his newly acquired freedom that he asked to taken back to the confines of his cell. To him, the dungeon, the chains, and the darkness were more familiar, secure, and comfortable than accepting the change of the freedom and an open world. Many modern day prisoners do the same thing. The stresses of having to cope in an unfamiliar world are so great that they may purposely commit another crime in order to be sent back to prison, where, though their freedom is restricted, they have fewer decisions to make. If your attitude is negative, your life is restricted. Your success at work will be limited. You will have fewer friends. You will not enjoy life to the its fullest. It's Let us see in the next chapter where the author shares, Shivakira shares with his thoughts on how we can build a positive attitude. Building a positive attitude will take a lot of hard work and commitment, but it would be tremendously rewarding in every area of your life. Let, let us see the action plan given by Shiv Khera on this particular chapter 1. Dreams are a time of dozen. It's their execution that counts, written by Theodore Roosevelt. List 3 opportunities that you can recognize right now and that you might have overlooked so far. What are the 3 opportunities that you recognize right now you have overlooked so far? Write down the 3 opportunities in the chat box. Second question, list 3 areas where there is an opportunity that you have not been able to identify so far. Means you might have different ideas and opportunities, but you didn't identify till now. What are the 3 areas? Let us see the third question. Evaluate how your current environment is impacting your attitude. Out of 1 to 10, evaluate your current environment. Let us see the fourth question. Evaluate how the environment created by you is impacting others. And let us go for the next question, fifth question. 3 behaviors you can change to create a positive environment. If suppose you want to create a positive house environment, work environment, whatever it is, what are the 3 behaviors you can change? Write down 3 behaviors. List down the 3 advantages of each having a positive attitude in the following areas. Let us take home area. What are the three advantages of having set a positive attitude? Let us take work category. If in the work category, what are the three advantages having a positive attitude helps you? Let us say social area or society or country or nation. What are the three advantages having a positive attitude in society? Identify and answer all these questions. I am keeping all these questions in the description. Just fill out your answers and update in your comments. Thank you so much. See you in another chapter. Until then, stay connected, keep progressing.